What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning back in. Just real quick before I get into the video, I only have 77 subscribers right now, but I want to thank all 77 subscribers for subscribing, for coming back, watching my videos. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you. But before I get into the meat of this video, as you guys can see, I'm driving my car. I finally got it back from Ford. After over 2 weeks, I finally got my car back. Thank the Lord. So, quick rundown, and then we'll squash it. You won't hear about the clutch issues again. But, if you guys don't know, for my newer subscribers, my clutch went out on my car. I have detailed videos on it. Check them out. You know, you'll find out exactly what happened, how it happened. And the issues I've had in between. But finally got my car back, everything's fixed. So this last time, what was going on was there was a loud tapping going on under the car. I mainly heard it under acceleration, first, second gear. After that, it was probably still there. It's just my car's, it's loud, so I couldn't hear it after that. But I took it to Ford. Actually, the first day that I picked up the car, they changed out the clutch. I went into the service manager's office and I told him, hey, the car's still making a hissing noise. At that time, I didn't hear the clanking noise. I just heard the hissing noise. He said it was normal. I thought I just want to let you know, just in case the clutch does go out again. The hissing noise did go away after some braking time. But there was that clicking noise, and I took it in. I picked up the car originally on a Friday. That Monday I took it back in and I let him know about the hissing noise was still going on at that time. So I told him, check the hissing noise out and check that clanking noise. What is it? They said it was the springs. The clicking noise was the springs. They blamed it on my aftermarket springs. I have Steeda lowering springs on my car, and I have aftermarket wheels. So they blamed it on the springs. I was 100% sure it wasn't the springs, but I couldn't prove it at that time. And I even have the paper here that says that it was a front spring. So the noise was mainly coming from the front left tire. They said that spring was loose and it was rattling within its assembly, is what they told me. But long story short, the clanking noise kept happening, and I was actually able to record it while the car was at a standstill, which was the defining factor for them to really go in and take a look at it, because I had this video. And even with that video, they're saying that the motor rattles and the motor shakes and vibrates and the spring could still be really loose in there. And I told them, listen, my car never made this noise up until you guys changed the clutch, and I've had these springs on my car for over a year now. So I know it's not the springs. But again, this video is what really made them go in and check. Long story short, it turned out to be that the starter was tapping the flywheel, is what they told me. And I can't find the other paper. It's at home. I left it at home. That I wanted to read it verbatim, but it was that the starter was tapping the flywheel. So they went in and changed out the starter on my car. So after they changed out the starter, they called me, hey, your car's ready, come pick it up. 30 minutes later, they called me back, say, hey, your airbag light turned on. Have you ever had any issues with that? I was like, no, I've never had one light turn on in my car. I've always taken very good care of it. Never a light on my car. So they said, all right, let us keep it for another day. Let us see what's going on. They couldn't clear the code. Turned out they had to put in a new control module on the car. It's just crazy how all this happens right after they change out the clutch. So we go from having a bad clutch gets replaced. You got that hissing noise, which went away. I'm assuming it was part of the braking period. But then you had that tapping noise that turned out to be the starter tapping against the flywheel. Then the airbag light turns on. They try to clear it, they can't clear it. Then they had to put a brand new control module. All that from getting a clutch replaced. Crazy. I don't know what they did. I don't know why it all went bad, or why I had so many issues with it. Literally a over 2 week process. But I'm glad I got my car back. It's good, running good. I'm happy for it. So I missed it. I was ready to drive it. I was just done with the whole situation, so I'm glad the car's good. I'm glad that we got it back, and now back to enjoying it. That said, it brings me to the main part of this video. I've hinted before that I'm thinking about getting the 2018 Mustang GT that a dealership out of Ohio called Lebanon Ford. They have a 2018 that you can purchase for $40K with a Whipple supercharger pushing 800 horsepower. Then for an extra $1,000, you can get essentially bumper to bumper warranty. That's crazy. You can't beat that. But one of the biggest discussions I've had with my friends or just online is them telling me you need to get that 10-speed automatic transmission. And I just don't know that I can do it, man. I love my manual transmission. I know with the whole 800 horsepower, the car would be much faster with the A10 automatic transmission, without a doubt. But I just like driving manual transmission. I think there's just that fun factor for me there. I just don't know that I can get the automatic. And a lot of people say, don't you get tired of driving manual? I daily drive my car. I work for myself, as you guys don't know. I buy and sell cars. So I drive to auctions a lot. I do a lot of driving. Sometimes 2 hours one way, 4-hour round trip. So I do a lot of driving. And they say, don't you get tired of driving manual transmission? Well, my car is a 6-speed and I don't always shift through all 6 gears. And let me explain. I skip gears, so I'll do, and I'll show you guys here. I gotta put this the GoPro back up, but I skip gears. So I'll go from 1st to 3rd to 5th to then 6th. So only 4 gears. Do I sometimes wish I had an automatic? Yes. There's times where I'm stuck in traffic and it's stop go, and at those moments I wish I had auto. But what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna just start driving the cars that I'm selling to go to the auction, hopefully, and I don't gotta put that many miles on my car. Just because if it all works out and I am able to get that 2018 Mustang, I don't want that to be my daily driver. I mean, I'll drive it as much as I can, but not to go to these auctions, not for these long distance drives. But I skip gears, y'all, and let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me set up the GoPro and I'll be right back. All right, so I got the GoPro set up. Hopefully it won't fall. I'm having a lot of issues with it where that mount keeps falling. I need to get a new one. But anyway, let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So I got the car first. I'm about to take off here. I rev it out a bit in first, nothing major. I mean, I'll go to maybe like 3,000 RPM. And from first, I'll go straight into third. Again, rev it out a bit, nothing major, 2,500. Close to 3,000 RPM, and I'll pop it in 5th. You know, it doesn't hurt the car. I don't lose any power, I don't feel like, you know. And then from 5th, once I hit highway speeds, I just pop it in 6th and we're good to go. So 6-speed manual transmission, but when I don't feel like shifting all these gears, I skip gears, you know. I go 1st, 3rd, 5th, 6th. Something I've always done. I learned how to drive. My dad taught me how to drive on a manual transmission car, and so most of my life I've driven manual transmission. I've maybe had 2 cars that weren't manual transmission, a truck, and I used to own an Audi A4, but every other car has been a manual transmission, and it's something I've always done, you know. I had a 1988 Celica that was manual trans, 5-speed. I had a 2000 Celica GTS. I love that car, boy. You couldn't tell me nothing about my car. But right out of high school, I got that car, 6-speed manual transmission, and I did the same thing. I skipped gears. I'll show you guys here again. First gear, I revved it out, 2,500. I go to 3rd gear. I mean, it's like nothing. You would never know. 3rd gear, again, 2,500 RPM. 5th gear, and you're good. And I usually, if I'm within town, I stay in 5th gear. speed limit's 45 miles an hour. But once I get to highway speeds, from 5th, I'll go straight into 6th and call it a day. But that's all there is to it, man. I mean, manual transmission can be tedious, can be annoying at times if you stuck in traffic, but I enjoy it. I enjoy driving manual trans. Like I said, I don't know that I could get the automatic. If I were to buy the 2018 for a specific track car, try to break records and just try to be the fastest Mustang out the track, I would get the 10-speed automatic. But I just love my manual transmission. I don't think that I can get the auto. I did consider it for a while, but as of right now, guys, it's gonna be that 6-speed manual transmission if I do go with the 2018. 800 horsepower Whipple supercharged for 40K. Insane. 41,000 really, because I'll be getting the extended warranty, bumper to bumper. You can't beat it. But anyway, quick video. Yeah, I just wanted to touch base with you guys on my car. The whole skipping gear thing, just because it's been a conversation I've had a few times this week, and I thought it'd be a cool video to make. How many of you guys that drive manual transmissions, do you guys skip gears? Do you guys go through all your gears every single time? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a great day. Be great. Peace.